Both men had the same first name. One was David Miller. The other was David Johnson. I made a quick decision. I didn't check the details. I picked up the wrong man. That mistake changed 3 lives forever. I drove to the airport terminal. I saw a man in a black coat. He held his phone and looked around. I thought he was my passenger. The man got into my taxi. He was about 40 years old. He wore expensive clothes. "Take me to the Grand Hotel downtown," he said. I started driving. The rain hit my car windows. The man sat in the back seat. He looked nervous. He kept looking back through the window. "Is everything okay?" I asked. "Yes, just drive fast, please," he said. I looked at him in the mirror. He had an expensive gold watch. He carried a black briefcase. He held it very tight, like it was part of his body. I kept my eyes on the road. I tried to ignore the strange feeling, the feeling in my stomach. Then suddenly, "Can you stop at the bank?" he asked. "Which bank?" I said. "Any bank with an ATM machine." I stopped at a bank. The man got out with his briefcase. He went to the ATM machine. I waited in the car. Through the window, I watched him. He put his card in the machine. He took out a lot of cash. A lot. More money than I see in 1 month. I thought, this is not a normal business trip. He came back to the car. He put the money in his briefcase. His hands were shaking. "Let's go to the hotel now," he said. I felt something was wrong, but I kept driving. Maybe he was just a rich businessman. Maybe he always carried lots of cash. We arrived at the Grand Hotel. It was a very expensive place. Rich people stayed there. The man paid me in cash. He gave me a big tip, much more than normal. "Thank you," he said. Then he walked fast into the hotel. He looked back one time. Then he disappeared inside. I felt happy about the big tip. I thought, maybe tonight wasn't so bad after all. Then I saw something on the floor. It was on the floor of my taxi. It was just a small piece of paper. But it held a big secret, a receipt from the ATM machine. I picked it up and looked at it. The name on the receipt surprised me. It was not the name I expected. My passenger was supposed to be David Miller. But the receipt said, David Johnson. My heart started beating very fast. I realized what happened. I had picked up the wrong person. 2 men, same first name, David Miller and David Johnson. I felt scared. Who was this man? The answer was worse than I thought. Why did he need so much cash? Why was he so nervous? My hands started shaking, but then I thought of David Miller. The real David Miller. He was probably still waiting at the airport, angry and confused. I took a deep breath. I had to fix this. I had to find David Miller. I had to explain what happened. I turned the car around. I drove back to the airport fast as I could. The rain was getting stronger. My heart felt heavy. I knew this mistake would cause big problems. But when I arrived, I saw something terrible. What had happened while I was gone? There were police cars everywhere. Security guards stood at the entrance. Red and blue lights flashed in the rain. I parked my taxi and walked toward the terminal. A security guard stopped me. "Excuse me, are you Amy, the taxi driver?" he asked. "Yes, I am," I said. My voice was shaking. "We need to talk to you," he said. A passenger missed his flight. His taxi never came. I felt sick in my stomach. A police officer walked over. He had a notebook in his hand. "Were you supposed to pick up David Miller at 9:30? He asked. "Yes, sir," I said, "but I made a mistake. I picked up the wrong person." The officer looked serious. "Tell me exactly what happened." So I told him everything. 2 men with the same name. I picked up David Johnson by mistake. The expensive hotel and the ATM cash. The officer's face didn't change. "David Miller missed his business meeting," he said. "It was very important. He lost a big contract." I felt terrible. "Where did you take David Johnson?" the officer asked. "To the Grand Hotel downtown," I said. He wrote it down. Then his radio made a sound. A short, sharp click. He answered it quietly. His face turned tense. "We've been looking for David Johnson," he said. "He took money from his company. He was running away." I couldn't believe it. I had helped him. I drove a criminal straight to safety. I helped him escape, without even knowing it. Just then, my phone rang. It was the hotel manager. "Hello, is this Amy, the taxi driver?" he said. "Yes," I answered. "The man you brought, David Johnson. He left without paying his bill. He disappeared in the night. Did you know this man?" "No, sir," I said. "I just drove him there." I hung up. The police officer looked at me. "David Johnson used a fake name at the hotel," he said. "He paid with stolen money. Then he ran away again." I sat down on a chair. My body felt heavy. My chest tight. "What happens now?" I asked quietly. "We'll find David Johnson," the officer said. "But you must tell us everything you remember." He was very nervous, I told him. He kept looking back. He was afraid of something. The officer wrote it all down. Then he looked at me. Steady, calm, but serious. "You made an honest mistake," he said. "But mistakes have consequences. 3 lives changed tonight. because of one small error. One small mistake that changed everything. I felt the heavy weight of responsibility. It pressed on my shoulders. I took a deep breath. I had to tell the complete truth. I had to help fix what I broke. It was the hardest lesson I learned. The hardest lesson I have ever learned. I will tell you everything I remember, I said. Later, I learned something important. Both David Miller and David Johnson were safe. But their lives had changed forever. David Miller started a new business. David Johnson went to jail. But he learned to be honest. And that is the end of the story. The story of my biggest mistake. I learned that every small action has big consequences. We must always be careful and responsible. This story shows us something clear. Even one small word can change everything. That's why learning the right words matters. Learning the right words in English is important. What is one thing you learned about responsibility from this story? Write your answer below. Now, let's look at helpful English words and phrases. Phrases that help us talk about big mistakes and heavy feelings. Here are useful phrases from this story. My heart started beating fast. Repeat this phrase with me now. My heart started beating fast. Something felt wrong. Repeat this phrase with me now. Something felt wrong. Made a mistake. Repeat this phrase with me now. Made a mistake. Take responsibility. Repeat this phrase with me now. Take responsibility. Now, your English challenge for today. Use one of these phrases in a sentence. Use it about your own life. Write it in the comments below. Maybe you can write, I made a mistake when... Or you can write, my heart started beating fast when... This is how you take responsibility. Responsibility for your English learning. If you want to build English confidence, subscribe. Practice more shadowing stories. Subscribe now, so you don't miss our next lesson. Watch this video one more time. Try the shadowing technique on every sentence. This is the fastest way to speak English. Speak English fluently. Whether you want to learn English through stories or practice listening, we can help. Use the shadowing technique in your daily study. Our channel helps you learn English with stories. Stories designed for adults. Stories that teach language and life lessons. Thank you for learning with me.